Hello, everybody. It is on there's running time, and welcome to our season 4 tier list. Holy crap, guys! The setup for this video was crazy. The one thing I don't like about this site and the tier list is that they the episodes aren't in order, and it doesn't tell you which episode the picture is from. So I literally had to go through the source code of the page to rearrange all the images so they're in order from episode 1 to episode 26. So we're all good now. Also, I will be doing my reaction to Rainbow Rocks after this, and that will be premiering next Saturday. Well, technically, right after you watch, about a couple hours after you watch this video when it goes up. We will be having our premiere for Rainbow Rocks. I want to do that live. I did it with my Christmas special, and I think for movies, it's a good idea because it allows me to go back, rewatch my video, and cringe, but you'll watch it along with me. So yes, that will be premiered. But without further ado, let's just get right into our tier list for... Sorry for those sirens if you can hear them. We had a winter storm last night, so there might be some accidents going on. Anyway, we have snow on the ground here in Austin. Like, it's crazy. My work's been canceled. It's been crazy. So yeah, anyway, let's get right into this tier list and ignore those sirens outside that are apparently coming right near my apartment. God, you can still hear it, you guys. It might still be coming to my place. Okay, we're good. Anyway, let's get into our tier ranking. Alright, so episode 1. I put episodes 1 and 2 in the admirable category. It's not my favorite season premiere of the entire season. Of course, we'll get to that next season. But yeah, it's a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. Great introduction. It didn't really feel as high stakes as the rest of the premieres and the finales have felt after the series. Season 3 premiere was way more like high stakes. Well, I guess the princesses were kidnapped. But yeah, it was a pretty good episode, and I put it in a admirable category for that particular reason. Of course, Discord is always fun. But so episode 3. This is a tough one, guys. I'm putting this in the passable category. I rarely put anything as a lackluster or worst, but I will put some. And once again, it's really hard once I get to season 4, because there wasn't ever really an episode. So when I say worst in this list, it's just like the worst out of the good, because I didn't really think there was a bad episode during this season, really. So when I put stuff into worst, I'm not saying it's actually dog shit. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of the weakest out of the entire season for me. So episode 4 here. Episode 4. This will go in one of my favorite episodes. The introduction to Derek Dew was so cool. I mean, I enjoyed the journey along with Rainbow, and it was super fun episode to Indiana Jones in their universe. So that's why I put it in my favorite category. Wait a minute, is this the Hearts as Strong as Horses episode? I think it is. I never knew that was season 4. I thought that was earlier. Oh well. So the Hearts are Strong as Horses episode. Ooh, this is the first tough one. Where am I going to put this? I'll put it in passable. It wasn't my favorite, but I can't really say it was lackluster. Once again, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be really hard for me to pick my last lacklusters and worst because, I do know a few that'll probably go into the lackluster category. So that I believe was episode 3. That was episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, Power Ponies and Marble. Not one of my favorite episodes, but a really good episode. It was super fun. It was nice to. It's a lot of super fun episodes this season that I really enjoyed. Bats. I honestly say for me, Bats is one of the best of the season. This mainly just for the song itself is just so good, and oh my gosh, so good. Manhattan, another one of my favorites of the season. The song was really good. Love the story. Love the lesson. It was interesting to see where they have to contend with. It's not life in the country anymore. It's life in a big city, and unfortunately, when you're around more people, you're around more of the worst people. So that's where we go for. So yeah, I love that episode. Okay, so this obviously is going to be a favorite for me. Oh my god, I love it so much. The song is so good. The Apple Family and the oh my god, just so good. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we have reached our first lackluster episode. Specifically this one with Rainbow and the Wonderbolts and everything. It in terms of everything else, it falls in the lackluster category. Now, I know you're all gonna hate me. I know you're all gonna hate me. Three's a Crowd is probably one of the weakest episodes for me. It is just it's always nice to see Kane's shine armor, but like in terms of like everything else, like I felt like it mattered the least. I mean, when you really look at it, this episode, no one really learned anything. It was just kind of Discord being a troll, which is good, but compared to everything else, like in terms of importance and lessons learned, this is probably one of the weakest for me. And of course, as a Pinkie Pie fan, I'm always gonna put the cheese sandwich episode at the top. Such a fun episode, lots of great songs. Just Weird Al Yankovic, such an amazing guest voice actor, and one of many for MLP. It was so fun. He was so fun. Perfect foil to Andrea Libman and Pinkie Pie. Just loved it, loved it, loved it. This is worse for me. Mostly because Rarity drove me crazy that episode. Just drove me crazy. I feel like in Three Crowds, like, oh my god, the Simp episode. Like, it was cringe to watch. And therefore, it's one of the weakest of the seasons for me because it was hard for me to get invested in anything was happening because I just want to, like, unsimp Rarity. Like, ugh. Philly Vanilli, good episode. Wouldn't say it's one of my favorites at the end of the day. Not like these episodes up here. Honestly, you know what? I just realized this. I'm actually moving Bats down to Admirable and moving Philly Vanilli up to one of my favorites because honestly, I wasn't really thinking about it, but Philly Vanilli is just episode. Just basically because it has the songs. The only really bad thing about Philly Vanilli was Pinkie Pie. But like most of it, it was so nice to see like Fluttershy, like, and her just good God, Fluttershy's voice, beautiful man, Jesus. I think this was Twilight Time. Lackluster. I wouldn't really call it one of my least favorite, but it was just I don't know if I could put it in my worst category. You know what? I'm doing the same thing earlier. I'm putting Three's a Crowd and Twilight Time down into the weakest of the season. See, this happens with this tier list. Sometimes I think this is the first time I've changed my mind as much as I have, but I do change my mind from time to time again. So yeah, that's the reason. It ain't easy being breezy, passable. It was an enjoyable episode enough. but I wouldn't really call it one of the good or the best episodes of the season. The breezes are really cute. Is an interesting thing. And here you go. Someone to watch over me. I don't know if I call it one of the weakest. I put that in the lackluster category. Remember how I said it was going to be really hard for me to like find things to put into this category? Well, I've been doing well. I'm better with other seasons. I think I'm just better at ranking now. I've had more experience under my belt with tier lists. But yeah, someone to watch over me. It's an annoying older sibling episode, and it was nice to watch, but I'd say it's just enough to keep it from being one of the worst, but not enough to be passable, admirable, or even my favorite episode. Mod Pie episode. People are gonna fucking hate me for this. I think I'm putting this in passable. Do I put in admirable? Nah, I put in admirable. It was just so like Maud's a fun character. It's her deadpan is so funny. Deadpan personality is so funny, and at the part at the end where it shows she's like can be really strong and protective of Pinky was so cute. I couldn't put it in anything other than admirable in this sense. I forget the name of the episode, but the one where Sweetie Belle destroys the headdress. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to find to put this in the passable or the lackluster territory here. Yeah, I'd put it in passable. I think Luna really made this episode avoid lackluster or worse. Unless it's pretty good, and like it was another episode with a lot of like where Sweetie Belle and her older sister just don't get along. And if you've had an older sister, younger sister, you're probably gonna rate this episode higher just because it's more relatable to you. Um, Wait a sec. Oh no, okay, never mind. I thought something was missing, and I was like, what? This one lackluster. Um, it's really hard. I can't put it in passable. Um, it's just the Flim Flam brothers fooling everybody again. That's one thing that does annoy me about my city is he foiled. Like you think Ponyville would have learned its lesson after their first time, but no, they still trust him for some reason. But mostly because Applejack endorsed it, but passively endorsed it, reluctantly endorsed it. This one I have to put in my favorite episodes just because how freaking relatable it was to me personally. This is a very personal thing and not very more of a bias, but I have ADHD and I really related with Rainbow Dash that entire episode. It was like the perfect representation of having a learning disability. Oh my god, it's the freaking worst. And she went through it all in that episode. And her getting overwhelmed there at the end, I'm like, oh, too relatable. Anyway, Traja? Passable category for me. Passable category for me. Um, it was okay. I didn't really hate it, but I didn't really love it too much either. I mean, good lesson there. Like Rainbow almost like giving her friend basically into slavery over a book. That was crazy. Inspiration manifestation, one of the worst. I did not enjoy this episode as like one of the weakest, I would say. I mean, Spike being an idiot in this one. Okay, guys, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be shocked. And some of you are probably going to really disagree with me on this ranking. But I'm actually putting the Crystal Empire into the admirable category. Like, my opinion completely flipped. I actually enjoyed the episode a lot more. I don't know why. I thought I connected it with Spike being like a bit of an ass. But like, it was kind of sad episode, somewhat relatable. I mean, I perform myself, but I've never performed in front of a crowd that large, so I could completely see him just freezing up in that environment. So yeah, it's international games, like it's crazy. And the finales are easy. They're all going up into favorites. One of the best finales of the entire season. Loved it all. And you know what I noticed? It's a pretty. It's almost like it goes down by numbers. It's just two more extra in favorite. If I only put one of my favorite and one in admirable, like it would have literally just been like a number count all the way down. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Have it. That is my tier list for season 4. I'd say I'm getting a little bit better at doing tier lists. That was a little bit quicker than I have done in last episodes. There wasn't many points in it where I was just sitting there like, I don't know what to give this rank this. But yeah, there you go. That is my tier list for season 4. Of course, what I am trying to do is I am going to all save and then download this tier list. I will post it in a community post for those of you who don't want to watch the video. But if you guys do want to watch my video and get my reasoning, you can do that. But I am going to start posting this tier list as a picture in a community post, just so people who don't watch the video can know where I ranked everything. So yeah, so that's gonna end it for this tier list. Alright, I don't really have much to say at the end of this video, except thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Bonnie Time for more content, especially more tier lists. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide, so we can get this video. These videos don't really do very well. I don't really get a lot of viewers on these videos. I guess it's just not entertaining, so please share this video, see if we can get anyone interested in watching it. It is a good way to get me like out of my mouth why I'm ranking things the certain ways that I am. But yeah. So I will see you all in the Rainbow Rocks reaction. See you next time.